Episode 25. Damn, 25 already, huh?
Yeah, dude, we're fucking packing them in. Fucking crazy.
Nice. Nice. It's the year of the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. It's the year of the
Quarantine
podcast.
podcast.
Yes, sir. Tail of the tape. Uh, Last time we fucking talked shit, we were talking about the hand kisser.
Mr.
Good
Covington.
old, good old Mr. Covington. Let's talk about that, man. What'd you think of that fight?
Tyron Woodley sucks.
Oh man.
I don't know if
Yeah.
okay, let me rephrase. He doesn't suck, but he talked all that shit and
Mhm.
did the total opposite of what he said he was gonna do,
Yeah.
man. Colby Covington was able to shut him down in every way possible, and it was really kind of surprising to watch because I didn't really expect that.
Do you think that because if you look at the stats on Woodley, he's won, I think he's lost every single round that he's had in the past three fights, if you include this one. On top of that, like, do you think it's like him declining, or is it that partially mixed with the fact that if you know, because he hates Covington obviously because of the whole racial animosity between him and Covington, and on top of that, do you think he like got in his head a little bit? You think that Woodley having all that emotion towards Covington kind of already set him up for a loss?
Yeah, definitely, dude. I definitely feel like he definitely overthought the fight. I
Yeah,
think he
that's a
was
good way of
overthinking
putting it.
everything.
Yep. It happens. It happens, man. But I mean, you'd have to base it off of, his previous two performances in the octagon as well. Was he more in his head, or was his performance and physical stature declining during those two fights? And that can just be the main issue for this one too.
Oh yeah, no doubt about that. He's definitely declining. Look at the Gilbert Burns fight. He didn't win a
Yeah.
single round.
Yeah.
Usman kicked his ass the same way, and
Yeah.
so maybe there's already a blueprint to whoop his ass, and
Hmm.
Covington just followed it, or Tyron's truly declining, and he may need to hang that shit up, like Dana said. I don't know.
How old is Woodley?
I know late 30s. He's got to
He's
be
in his
like,
late 30s.
yeah, for
Let me
sure.
pull that up right now. Yeah, Tyrone, because a lot of the times
He's 38.
30, I was thinking 37, 38. And when you're at that point, performing at the level that he's been at, I talked to my friend Jake Galinsky. I'm gonna constantly bring this motherfucker up. He's the equivalent to my Joey Diaz, that fucking dude. Listen, he is saying the fact that, let's see, what did he say about? I'm trying to remember now. I'm like so stoned. Fuck, I'm losing track. Well, let's go back off that. My bad, because fucking I knew there was something that he said about Woodley, but I can't figure it out. But at the end of the day, that age, performing at that level. Oh yeah, there you go. Jake said that he's going to go down as one of the best welterweight champions in history in the UFC, and I think we can probably agree on that. He's definitely. I mean, that title reign of his is undeniable. Only other guy you can compare him to is GSP. But on top of that, Usman is making that fucking title reign pretty supreme with what he's coming into it with. But either way, Woodley is going to go down as one of the best welterweights. But at 38, man, even George St. Pierre is not competing at that age. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude,
Like,
he's absolutely going down as one of the best. He's beat Darren Till, Damian Maya, Wonder
yeah,
Boy, fucking
of course.
Lawler,
Yeah,
Kelvin
he's beat
Gastelum.
everybody at
Fuck,
that.
man.
But at that age, at that level, you're you're really walking a thin line. At the end of the day, all of his losses, his past three losses, including this fight, is all against high level opponents, all top opponents. So it's you can't really come down. I've seen so many negative comments on Instagram, but it always happens, man. To all the UFC fans, it's like, oh, he's done. He needs to hang it up. You know what I mean? I've seen a lot of people in the gym saying that like he's scared to fight now, like trying to say like he doesn't have the same look in the octagon as he normally does, and that comes with age. That's what I'm trying to like really emphasize is like a fighter's mentality, like his vision, the look on his face, how he looks at uh, coming into the first bell of the fight. Um, it comes with age, man. Age and what you've gone through. And every fighter knows, man, it's different. Like you can look great during sparring, during, team practice. But when it's in front of when it's under the lights and really on that pressure, that opponent that you were so angry at that whole training camp, or his face that you've been angry at so much, and thinking about whooping his ass constantly, he looks like a totally different person in front of you the moment Bruce Buffer announced your name and the refs asking you if you're ready to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
It's
He doesn't look the same as he used to, for sure.
hmm
And I believe it has something to do with his age.
yeah.
But I truly think, just like you said, it's the level of competition that he's facing. It's only getting
Yeah.
better.
It's only getting better. And they're young. They're young. They're climbing up the ladder. They're hungrier. And at the end of the day, he's the older champion having to defend constantly, and having to defend constantly is more arduous than being the young, up and coming, hungry guy that really has nothing to lose at that point. Not saying that like an undefeated or a top ranked younger opponent climbing up the ladder has nothing to lose. Of course, they don't want to lose that status, but in regards to what they're trying to build, I mean, Woodley has everything to lose, and I mean that makes it 3 losses in a row. So where do you think he goes from this?
To be honest with you, man, I don't see him getting another title shot anytime soon. I see him facing maybe someone in the lower 10, top
But what's
10.
the point? What's the point
Exactly.
for
Someone's
him?
just trying to make a name or make their name off his name.
Yeah,
And that's now he's kind of like the gatekeeper, and that's kind of where
man,
you got to go.
that's great. But it happened so fast. That's what's crazy is like him going from the top, and he honestly, from a casual MMA fan's perspective, for myself, it's like was one of the household names in the UFC, because you go everywhere on the internet. If you're watching any like YouTube fitness video or anything related to combat, you'll always hear Woodley's name involved. And it's not just when a fight's coming up or when the UFC is bringing him up. So he was at that top level of a name, and then to be at this point as like you just said, like essentially like a new gatekeeper, that's a fucking fast decline. So I think that he probably is smart enough to realize he should probably hang it up. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I would
I
hope
think
so.
so. He's got good advisors. He's got a great team. Who's he managed by?
That I don't know who he's managed.
He's not managed by Ali, right? Dude,
No, not
Ali has
anymore.
everybody.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. So he was.
Yeah, they hate
That's
each other, bro.
insane.
Remember, they got into a fight at the Palms, but I
Was
know he trains at ATT.
okay.
Or he did.
Man. Yeah, that's crazy. Well, hopefully he fucking, because honestly, he doesn't need fighting anymore. He makes money outside of the octagon with. I know he's got like other sponsors that he promotes, outside of the UFC platform, and does a lot of videos and like is featured on a lot of shit. So it's like he might as well just ride that wave. And he's 30 fucking 8, dude. Like as a fighter, a world champion at that, at that time, it's like you have nothing to look back on and go, man, I didn't accomplish enough at this point. Like he accomplished more than he will ever have had wanted to in the beginning. Like I don't think he's ever thought that he'd be at this point. So I think 38, dude, and you're young. You're fucking young. And I'm blabbing on about like a guy that I'm pretending to be in his position. You know what I mean? And it's like at 38 years old, dude, you're still a young dude. In fighting, no, obviously fighting, 38 is definitely old. So that already tells you, man, like you can fucking leave this game. You just had a pretty severe loss in regards to the abuse you took. So it's like, how many more do you want to take until you realize this shit's dangerous?
Yeah, that rib broke, man. He's got to learn
Yeah,
something from
I
that.
saw that X-ray. I thought that was fake when I first saw it on the internet, but that shit was legit.
Yeah,
Dude, that was a
completely fucking sad.
complete break, dude. Like this wasn't even a fucking hairline fracture. That thing was gone,
Yeah,
like gap, like that.
it's fucking wild, bro.
Yeah, Yeah, man. Well, fucking aside from him, aside from Woodley's situation, all I gotta say is fuck Kobe Covington.
Yeah,
I'm sick and
fuck
tired of
Kobe
hearing about his
Covington.
ass.
So fucking Cowboys Cerrone and Nico Price ended up in a draw. Did you see
Okay,
that shit?
I didn't see it. I didn't even see any highlights, and I wanted to because I'm still a Cowboy fan no matter what. So it was a draw, three
It was a
rounds, right?
Yeah, 3 round draw. Fucking Nico Price would have won 2 rounds to 1, obviously, if he
Yeah.
didn't poke Cowboy in the eye 3 times and get a point deducted.
Oh fuck, that's
Yeah,
pretty bad. Was it
yeah,
obviously he? What was he doing? Sticking his hand out, his lead hand out, and it was just accidentally poking his ass.
yeah.
Mm, okay.
Trying to
Shit.
just pat him, fucking,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
put a.
Keep him at bay.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
Damn.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Cowboy got a fucking eye poke return. Like he poked him in the eye too, but
That's a veteran. That's the veteran's way. He's
payback's a
crafty.
bitch.
Yeah, he knows how
He's
to
fucking
do it.
crafty.
So, in regards to draw for Cowboy, do you feel? Because I didn't watch it, but I'm asking from you. Do you feel like it was a decent enough performance for him to get another fight against a guy that's relatively at the same level, or maybe even better towards the ranks in that division, or is it just one of those things where he just got to coast until his UFC contract's over with?
He's riding like technically, if he did lose this fight, it would be a 5 fight losing streak for him.
Whoa, whoa,
So
wow! Was his last fight McGregor?
yeah, his last fight was McGregor.
Wow.
No. Anthony
No.
Pettis. He lost to Anthony Pettis by decision after that.
What?
Yeah,
Holy shit. He's still trying to fight you know, the thoroughbreds, man. He's I mean commands that type of respect. I mean his he can get those fights as long as he, says something to Dana or one of the upper management. He'll always get a decent name for any fight, but at that point it's like what's in it for him because they're using him as like you said essentially another gatekeeper.
hmm
He'd be the right type of gatekeeper for at 170 though, man. I said this before. I think he's too small for that weight class.
I think so
I
too,
don't.
dude.
Yeah, there's no way he's gonna be able to sustain fighting. These. Let's say he decides to fight more up and comers instead of the big. Did he fight Pettis at 70?
Yeah, they
So
fought him at
Pettis is at
72.
72.
Mm-hmm.
What a stacked division that is. Let's
Yeah,
talk
it's
about
fucking.
170.
They're fucking nasty, bro. Let
Let's
me
talk
pull
about
up their fucking.
170, man. Let's talk about Colby Covington. Let's talk about this.
He
Hand
really
kisser
fucking
part
bro.
two.
I hate his fucking act, but he's a good fucking scrapper, bro. He
He's
can
a good
fucking
scrapper.
fight.
He's a good scrapper. He like everyone says, he's got a fucking gas tank. Like that man has stamina. He's he's a solid fighter. But every fighter that I know that I talk to, MMA fighter at least, they're like, man, that's not even an act anymore. That's just him. And I
Yeah,
was like, well, yeah, I mean, you try to kiss dude's hand. I mean, that's definitely you. Fuck. I know we keep bringing that up, but
bro. He's the new #1 contender now over Gilbert Burns. That is
yeah,
fucking
that,
hilarious.
but Gilbert hasn't even had his fucking chance yet.
Right, he's still gonna get the shot, but they made Colby Covington the #1 contender, bro. That shit's hilarious.
Wow.
So he's #1. Gilbert Burns is ranked #2. Where the fuck's the UFC at?
You think they're gonna fucking make Masvidal Covington happen or what?
Yeah, absolutely. They'll do that fight. I think they're gonna do that instead of the Diaz Masvidal rematch. I don't think they're gonna do the BMF belt fight again.
I
But
just don't. I don't
go ahead.
see
Sorry.
that. Oh my bad, bro. I just want to say I don't see that useful for Masvidal's stake right now. Like he wants to be a champion. I don't think fighting Diaz again is going to do anything for him. If he wants to continue being like the off official, champion as the BMF guy, like that's cool, but he wants to be world champion, bro.
Yeah, I agree. It definitely doesn't help his case at all.
No,
But
not at all.
fucking Leon Edwards got called out by Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, bro. That's crazy
I
as
saw
fuck.
that. I saw that. I mean, Leon Edwards is on a win streak, and he's got a few. He's on a win streak, right? And he's got a few good wins. His last loss was Usman, right?
Yeah, Leon's on an 8-fight winning streak, bro.
Bro, he's hot right now. He's if you can be, and not, it's not only the fact that now he's got a that win streak, but for a lot of these fighters, their mentality is if they can beat him, if they can get past him right now, that's going to be the biggest boost of confidence in the world to know that they can go against any guy within that top four, top three of the welterweight division, man.
Mm.
That's,
Yeah, dude.
I mean,
I really like that fight though. It actually makes a lot of sense
with
to do
Wonder
that.
Boy,
Yeah.
what's his ranking right now?
He's 5, so Leon's number 3, so that put Wonder Boy back in the top 3
Yeah.
if he gets the win over him. That'd be
Dude,
interesting.
when you sent me that, was it on, I think it was a tweet, right? Or something. It was either a tweet or an Instagram post. But when you said Wonder Boy and I saw his page, I kept thinking for a second before I remembered who he was. I kept thinking that it was fucking Sage Northcutt, Super Sage Northcutt for some
Super
fucking
Sage
reason.
Northcutt.
Like they don't even look like each other, but like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like for some reason, I would always consider Sage Northcutt's look to be a Wonder Boy nickname. Like you know what I mean? Oh,
True.
fuck. I sound like an idiot right now, bro, but that's what I thought at first. And I was like, what the fuck? Sage Northcutt is back in fucking the UFC? I'm like, oh, that's awesome.
That's fucking hilarious. Yeah, he fights for 1 now, I think, right?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. He fights for one, and I think his sister fights for one as well.
Yeah, she
Crazy.
does.
I got the whole familia there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he'll ever get back to the UFC?
Probably. I mean, everybody has a shot at getting back. Just depends on who he fights and how good he looks.
Yeah, yeah. Mike Chandler, back to that guy.
Oh yeah, let's talk about him.
Yeah, let's talk about him. That's your favorite right there. That's your top 5 in the world pick right there.
Yeah, bro.
Was he ever in the UFC?
No.
No, he wasn't. He just made a big name for himself in Bellator.
Yeah, he won the what? What is that? Lightweight, 155. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fucking.
155.
He won that championship, I think, 3 times in Bellator.
And then it was based off the fact that he beat Ben Henderson, right?
His contract was up, so Bellator didn't re-sign him, and his last fight was the Benson Henderson rematch. And since he knocked him out, that kind of brought attention to the UFC. I don't really know why, because Benson Henderson's pretty fucking old these days.
Yeah, man. When did he? Fuck, I didn't even know he left the UFC and went to fight for another organization. I thought he was
Neither did I.
UFC because he had that
I
he
thought
had that belt lightweight, right? At 55. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Fucking yeah. Well, Chandler, we'll see, man. I don't really. We've been talking about it for the past couple of weeks, and I don't know how other MMA the rest of the MMA community feels, but I know that you and I both said the same thing. It's like he shouldn't really get that backup position spotlight for the Gaethje Khabib situation because dude, he needs to fight at least a couple of. He needs to get through that ranking first at the UFC because I mean we said this whole division, that whole top 10 is pretty deep. I mean, you're not going against some nobodies there.
No, definitely not. You got fucking Khabib, fucking Tony Ferguson, Dustin Poirier, fucking
Yeah, you got Poirier.
Dan Hooker.
Yep. I mean, dude, first off, if you really want to fucking break through in that division and actually get to have your name in the same sentence as Khabib, you got to at least beat Poirier. You have to, especially coming into, we did emphasize this. I mean, there's really not a who's who of who you'd have to beat at Bellator compared to what the UFC's got. I mean, we know that the rankings are by far a world better than in the UFC compared to Bellator. But if he can beat Poirier, that's the main guy he'd have to really get through because Poirier is always in the mix. He's always going to be in the mix. And then if you're going to have his name, if Chandler thinks his name's going to be ahead of Poirier in the talks of getting a title shot, then I think the UFC is eventually going to have to make that, bro. or somebody in there. I mean, if they're going to give Chandler that position, it's like they might as well give him a big money name outside of Khabib and Gaethje, you know? Because
Oh
that's
yeah,
sense.
there's no reason why they shouldn't. I mean, just pay Dustin Poirier. He'll take the fight as long as they
Yeah,
pay him, but they don't want to pay him.
yeah. They were originally supposed to at first, right?
Hmm.
I mean, that was the first situation, but at the same time, you that's the only way he's going to get to break through with the UFC's fan base. You know, I don't think
Yeah.
that's really going to garner much interest if you're just going to throw him at a title shot right from Bellator.
No, most people don't even know who the fuck he is.
Exactly, they don't. I think most people have seen his ass on the fucking on Instagram doing like fitness advertisements for like some kind of like product or some kind of program
And talking shit.
and talking shit. Oh man. Here's another guy. Let's talk about him again because he's from Bellator. You think Danis is ever gonna get transplanted to the UFC?
I fucking hope so, dude.
I'm sick and tired of hearing his bullshit. That's what I'm sick and tired of. I'm not a
Bro,
hater.
that dude's fucking hilarious.
He
I
is
want to see
hilarious.
him and Colby Covington go at it, bro. I
At
don't know if they're in
170.
the same weight class, but
I think
if
he
they
does
are,
70. Yeah,
that would
yeah,
be a hell of a fucking build
yeah.
up to that fight, dude. They both talk a whole bunch of shit. And
Oh, yeah.
Danis could actually beat the shit out of Colby Covington. So,
Because of the ground game, you think?
because of the jiu-jitsu, fuck yeah.
That's a good point. But the thing is, Danis has to. I mean, Danis's striking is known to be atrocious. Like his stand-up's known to be terrible. I wouldn't say, maybe atrocious is kind of a far leap, but still pretty bad in compared to like what the guys at 170 can do in the UFC. And not only that, but Covington, Covington's a closer to a complete fighter than Danis currently is. So I
That's
think,
true.
yeah, Danis would have to prove himself at another stacked division. If he's at 170 in the UFC, dude, yeah, you got a lot of work to do. You got so much work to do. It's not even funny.
You better get off Instagram and hit the gym then, man.
Oh, he's trying to get that fucking Ryan Garcia fight, man.
Everybody wants a Ryan Garcia fight.
They want that Ryan Garcia sweepstakes. I don't
Everybody wants to.
know. I don't know why. I know you're a fan. Yeah, I know the money, but this is the thing. Aside from the money, like you're a Garcia fan, I'm a Garcia fan. Just because he acts like a fucking little kid on Instagram and TikTok and does like the pretty boy shit, he's still a good fighter. Like people don't understand like that whole pretty boy, soft shit that he tries to be like on the outside is that has nothing to do with how he is in the ring. And in the ring, he is a fucking top five fighter in his weight class. I mean, he's a knockout artist. Like that's what people don't understand too. Like you don't have to be a knockout artist and have all knockouts on for your victories. Like you can still be 20-0 with 14 knockouts and be a knockout artist, and that's what he is. Like he's knocking dudes out that you wouldn't expect, and he's doing it so quick, so precise, so flat. I mean, his nickname's the Flash, dude. So it's like you're doing it in a flashy way if that's what they're saying your name is, and he hasn't proven himself against a guy like Devin Haney or someone else that's a big name in that division, but he's gone against the top ranked guys, guys that actually have world rankings, and he's been bulldozing them. So this whole thing with Danis wanting to call him out, and Danis is obviously getting the idea from his mentor, fucking McGregor doing it with Mayweather, but there's a difference, dude. Mayweather was in his 40s and Connor is in his prime when it comes to just physical shape. So him being in his prime physical shape going against a 41 year old, boxer, world champion boxer is a little better fucking odds. Danis wouldn't last 3 rounds with him in the boxing ring, that is. In the boxing ring, Danis wouldn't last 3 rounds with Ryan Garcia. And I know that he likes to talk shit on Instagram. And he does it for the shits and giggles and all that. But it's like if he's really serious about getting in there with Garcia, he's got a whole different thing coming too. Because that can ruin his MMA career, bro. You take a severe knockout in the boxing ring from a guy who hands out knockouts like it's nothing. You're gonna go back in that octagon and you might be gun shy.
It's true.
You might fucking go against a guy, like Covington, where he's got decent striking in the octagon, and then he's gonna do the same thing to you that happened to you in the boxing ring, dude. That would be terrible. And Dennis, I mean, Dennis is another social media personality, so I mean, I guess he's got that going for him. You know what I mean? I guess that's something he can ride on.
Yeah, that's why I think it would be interesting, just because of all the shit they would talk to each other.
Yeah, with him and Ryan or him and Covington?
Him and Covington, but him and Ryan, I don't like, bro.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't think that's a good matchup for him at all.
That's
I mean,
that's not
it's
that's
easy
what's like.
money for Garcia, but I don't think it'll be good for
All right,
Mr.
here
Hernandez.
I'm gonna say some shit, and I hope people can hear this, and I hope this gets around. But if Dennis gets it, it would be the right decision for Dennis if Garcia was like, fuck it, let's have this little charade, let's have this show, and if Dennis made like $5 million off that fight, then it'd be the right decision for Matit because if he retired or never stepped foot in the gym after that, and he gets knocked out, let's say, that $5 million that he gets paid from Ryan probably more than he'll ever make in the cage.
Oh, no doubt. Bellator ain't gonna pay him $5 million.
And UFC, uh, I mean, unless you become not only a world champion, but you got to have like 5 defenses to be making, John Jones money.
John
Um,
Jones only makes $5 million, man.
that's
Shit.
what I'm saying. Like, you got to have like 5 title defenses after you get that title to even be near John Jones' payroll status. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And John Jones isn't even happy with what he's getting paid with.
Nope.
So, yeah, fucking. That's all I got to say about that whole fucking scenario with Dylan Dennis.
Shit.
I have fun listening to all his shit on Instagram. So I'm a
He's
fan when
funny.
it comes to social media. That's all I gotta say.
Well, shit, man. Let's talk about this Reyes and Jan Blachowicz
Oh yeah, yeah. There you
fucking
go.
fighting for
Hmm.
John Jones' belt, bro. That he
So
still hasn't lost yet.
it's not the light heavyweight title. It's John Jones's belt,
It's
ladies
John
and gentlemen.
Jones' belt.
It's a John
Stop.
Jones championship.
It is the John Jones Championship.
All right, yeah. So Reyes, man, I think we touched base on this like a couple episodes ago. Just kind of hinted at it, but I'll just go ahead and say that I hope Reyes comes in there in the same condition that he was in coming into the John Jones fight and riding. I don't like I said. I think mentally he needs to come in there like he just didn't have a loss. You know what I mean? Because he came the closest to beating John Jones as anyone would ever come. So I think he needs to come in there riding a wave of momentum like he did coming into the John Jones fight. That's how he's going to be able to beat a guy like Jan and secure that title, man. And I think after he wins, if he wins the title and he can defend it against another significant name in the current division, then you can consider him the champion. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
think I think you could because it's always going to overhang on his head that he didn't beat Jones and Jones
Hmm.
left before he can get his rematch.
Yeah. That's true. I think as long as he fights this, he doesn't even have to really fight the same way because obviously they're different fighters, but he does have to go in with the same mentality, like you said. And if he does that, I think he'll be okay. He's just got to watch out for that Polish power, man.
Yeah, I was about to say
That
I've seen some of his highlights, some of Jan's highlights. Man, he's a powerful dude. He's
yeah,
explosive, and he's got some heavy hands. He can put guys down with those hands.
yeah, he's definitely worthy of fighting for the belt, but I
Yeah.
think Reyes is gonna take it. I think it's gonna be a decision, though. I think so.
Mm. You think that he's going to be able to? Is it going to be a back and forth situation where he kind of takes the championship rounds, Reyes that is, or is it going to be uh, him just outclassing Jan? What do you think?
I think it's gonna be a close fight, so I think it
Yep.
will be come down to probably the fifth round. It'll come down to.
I think it's a 50-50 fight, to be honest, from what I've seen about Jan. And I think Reyes, with his current situation, obviously that long layoff is it's a pretty decent layoff. I mean, what is it, about 8 months? 8 month layoff? 7 months? I
From the
think he
last
fought
fight.
late
Yeah,
January. That was when he fought Jones, right?
something like that. I
Felt
think
like
it
it's
was.
been a year ago. That
I
was
think
like
it was
right before.
February. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was pretty fucking recent. Holy shit.
dude, it felt like it was forever ago, man. That's what
Hmm.
COVID does to you. That's what fucking lockdown does.
For
That
real,
was
bro. It's
right
crazy.
before lockdown. Good old times.
Hell yeah. So Diego Sanchez says he has two more fights. So one more after this one, he's fighting on the prelim. Bro, that's sad. He's one, two, three, four. He's not even the featured prelim, bro. He's like
Oh
on
man.
the bottom of the card. That's what happens when you stay too long.
So you sent me those Instagram stories, and if people listening in haven't seen it yet, I highly suggest you do because that man looks like a totally different person. Dude, he looks like a legit yogi. You say he looks like a crackhead, which I don't disagree with. I definitely don't disagree with. But dude looks like he's been in a yoga studio somewhere in West LA, fucking doing Bikram yoga with fucking Desperate Housewives.
Yeah, his new coach is fucking weird. It's got him on some weird ass shit.
His new coach looks like a yoga teacher.
Yeah,
He
that's
was
probably.
stretching with him in the airport at the
Mhm.
terminal. That's what I saw. I know I'm talking shit, people, but I'm calling it for what it is. And the man looked like he does yoga. And for the people who do yoga talking shit to me right now, fuck yoga, all right? It
Fuck
had never benefited me whatsoever. I tried it a couple of times and it didn't improve anything for what I had to do in the boxing ring. And when I say a couple of times, I meant like a couple of weeks, all right? So, anyways, back to that.
I've never done that shit, and I don't plan on doing it.
Oh man, listen, I uh, I went to a yoga studio, Bikram yoga studio, one of those like heated yoga studios, man, in Vegas. This was before I moved out to California. This was back in 2018, and I went with a couple of my gym buddies. They're like, "Oh, dude, we got free passes. Like, my friend's hooking us up. Like, we should check this out." So I'm like, "All right." And luckily, it was like I said for a couple of weeks. I only did it about 3 days a week, and it was next to the gym that I was sparring at. So it was like, ah, fuck it, I'll try it. Dude, the first time I did it, it was fucking hell. It was hell holding those positions while you're like literally sweating your ass off. I know people, they feel refreshed coming out of it and, look at life a whole new way. I was just like, dude, I'm like hyperextending my body and going through torturous positions, and I'm not doing anything athletically benefit for my body, and I'm torturing myself. I'm like, yeah, I'm over this. I was like, I'd rather not. Rather
Yeah,
not.
fuck that shit.
Yeah, you're not missing out on anything, my friend.
It doesn't sound like it, bro.
Stick
But
to the MMA gym.
don't miss the Peacock walkout this weekend.
Oh, you think he's gonna do the peacock?
Oh, he's definitely gonna do the Peacock.
That's gonna be worth just watching for that.
Hmm.
Who's he facing? Because you said it's not even the main prelim.
No, he's facing some dude named Jake Matthews, who's 16-4.
Ooh, so they've got him going against a guy trying to climb up the ranks with a decent record, man.
Yeah. He has one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. 7 fights in the UFC, and he lost to Kevin Lee on the Ultimate Fighter 23.
Oh shit. Okay. Fucking Diego Sanchez, man. What do you think's going on in his head? Do you think it's a little bit of CTE?
Definitely.
Yeah. You think that he's not able to make the right decisions at this point, or do you think he needs the money?
I think it's a little bit of both. He's really probably not able to make decisions for himself anymore. So his coach is making all of his decisions for him, which is why he's doing the peacock and all the yoga and all that other shit.
That's crazy. But he's always been a crazy guy before, man. He's been a
Yeah,
crazy
he's always
guy.
been a fucking weirdo.
Oh man. Well, listen, I hope that he comes out of this fight, whether he wins or loses, in one piece, doesn't take too much damage, and is still able to go home to his family and be a normal human being after this fight. Because at this point, at this age in his life, fighting in the UFC still at this level against, I mean, when I say this level, any guy that they have coming into the UFC, whether it's the Contender Series or climbing up the rankings. Like they're all great fighters. Just to even make it onto the screen where there's a UFC logo on there, you got to be a good fighter. Like you're not some nobody coming in there fighting fucking hometown shows. You've climbed up at least a couple of promotions to have made it to the UFC. So in regards to saying that, like Diego's not facing, he's always facing danger when he's getting in there. You know what I mean? He's in danger
Absolutely.
constantly. So let's hope that, after the shenanigans, he can fucking do the peacock out of that fucking octagon, bro. You feel
I
me?
hope he peacocks out and never fucking comes back. I hope he just retires after this goddamn fight, man.
Oh man,
I
yeah.
feel so bad for the dude because I was a fan of his when he was on The Ultimate Fighter.
Of
And
course, but
now
that was
seeing
in the
him
prime.
now, I'm just like, fuck, dude. Like, he should have
Dude,
left like 10 years ago. Should have been done 10
yeah.
years ago, man.
I would assume that's the most logical time frame because he was in the scene in the early 2000s and he was
Hmm.
fighting killers back then, fighting the best of the best. I mean, he was one of the best in his division back in the day. He was always in,
Absolutely.
you know. What's another fight
Who's,
coming up, man?
bro? The last fight I want to talk about, save the
Okay.
best for last, man. I left
What's up?
our boy Stylebender versus the Juice Head.
Yes. Stylebender. Okay. Let's reiterate this topic. I just came back from the gym today and talked to my coach Marcus, and then also to a couple of other fighters at the gym. One of them being an amateur kickboxer himself, and he definitely takes after Izzy in regards to style and all that. And everyone who isn't a fan of Stylebender? That's my question.
I'm trying to fight like Izzy too, man.
For real, Izzy's just relaxed. But listen, my coach did say one thing. He's like, the only thing I don't like about Stylebender, and he's a big fan of Stylebender, is he can get lazy on his defense. He can get
Mm,
careless. We were talking about with Costa. Costa is used to, that rush style of fighting, that blitz with his striking. Like we all know that he's not nowhere near, Izzy's level of striking. But if you can get careless with the way Izzy does, and with Costa's style always going in there, and he throws flurries as he walks in, and he's a powerful dude. So this is the thing that people got to realize is like, and I'm sure they already know, but the man can throw a punch from anywhere, Costa that is, and it can hurt somebody because he's a big boy. He's a big dude. He's a
mm.
big dude. So, uh, other than that, I don't see Costa really affecting Izzy when Izzy gets in the groove. I see the first two rounds being Costa trying to put pressure. That's what I see.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Just the first two before Izzy can get a little better control with his footwork, with his range, because obviously he's got to watch his real estate fighting against a guy like Costa, where he's gonna want to take him down. He's gonna want to out wrestle him. He's gonna out strength him. I mean, that's this whole fucking he's too skinny shit. Like, listen, Izzy is what an ideal fighter should be built like for any
Right.
weight class. You just frame it down. That's
Hmm.
that's the point. And he is not skinny. A fighter is not meant to look like Costa. That's what people don't realize either. Costa, that's why we talk about it. He's on the fucking juice. He is on the juice.
Bro, he looks like a fucking T Rex. Izzy said that, but he literally has an 80-inch reach over him. 72-inch reach for Costa, 80-inch reach for Izzy.
Yeah, Izzy's got the come on, dude. Izzy's 6'4". He's got the John Jones build. He's got the
Yep.
John Jones build, bro. Costa, you said 72-inch reach?
Yeah.
And he's what, at 6'1", 6 feet?
6'1", yeah.
6'1", yeah. So I mean that's a relatively normal frame for a guy at his height, but that bulk makes him look, extra stubby. But we'll see, man, because he I just don't believe that there's going to be any effective way he's going to be able to get Izzy, and I mean with his wrestling too, because come on, dude, Izzy's stopped great wrestlers. Everyone thought that was going to be his weakness.
Hmm.
I mean, we can talk about the Yoel Romero fight all we want, and we know Yoel's awkward. Yoel's awkward, and his wrestling is out of this world. Like fucking, He'll grab your fucking heel, and he'll fucking flip you, and he'll take you down just grabbing your heel, dude. So you're going against a guy who's that awkward and that crafty. It's a different story. But um, this is the thing. Fucking Costa's nowhere near what Romero is. Nowhere near.
Nope.
So
he thinks he is.
Yeah, he thinks he is. But if people are writing this theory, or this, in their opinion, this fact that like Izzy could have lost that fight with Romero, could have gone both ways, and Costa is going to go in there and do the same thing, and definitely stop Izzy. That's what a lot of people think, is he's not going to be able to Izzy's not going to be able to handle Costa's power. That's totally wrong, dude. Costa's a one-dimensional fighter. He's one-dimensional.
Puncher's chance, and that's it.
Puncher's chance, and the brute's chance. It's gonna be like watching. What's a good comparison? Remember, what's his name? Old school UFC guy, Mark something. Big dude.
Mark. Mark Hunt.
No, not Mark Hunt.
No.
Big ass, buff, roided out dude back in the old days of the UFC.
Oh shit.
He fought like Vitor. He fought all those guys back in the day. He's still a juice head. Oh, fuck, I think it's Mark's something. Is it Mark Coleman?
Was it Mark Coleman? Mark Madsen or Mark Coleman?
Coleman, bald, fucking looks like he could be in the WWE.
Yeah.
Juice the fuck up. Okay, how he used to fight back in the day?
The Hammer.
That's how Costa is, bro. That's Costa. That's Costa in the middleweight division. And you're not going to go in there and fight like that against a guy like Izzy, where Izzy knows his real estate. And if people don't know what the fuck that means, whether you're a boxer, kickboxer, Muay Thai artist, your real estate is your range. Your real estate is the point in that front foot, your lead foot, where your toe is. That's where you will never let anyone cross. And if anyone ever crosses into your real estate, you better fucking tag them, and you better fucking be the first one to tag them. Exactly.
Gotta be first.
Fucking Izzy's got the best real estate. I mean, prime example, if people don't believe what I'm saying, look how he fucking hooked that left hook to fucking to Robert Whitaker. Robert Whitaker gave him 2 punches, if I believe. It was a 1-2, and tagged him. But Izzy was able to lean back, absorb a little bit of that right hand, and throw that hook leaning back, because fucking Robert made the mistake of stepping in and rushing into his real estate.
Exactly.
That's one prime example. You know this, but I'm trying to let other people know this. And like, that's what I'm saying is, and fuck, dude, Whitaker's a better fighter in my opinion, better than Costa.
I agree with you. Oh, no doubt.
So we're gonna see something fun. We're gonna see something explosive.
Whitaker has the IQ. Costa just has brute pure, like he thinks muscle is gonna win him the fight, and that's just fucking hilarious.
Of course he does. You know he does, because all he keeps talking about is you're too skinny, you're too skinny.
Mm-hmm.
But stop focusing on the man's physique. He's not skinny. And if that's all you care about, then you're definitely insecure, because you're worried about this man. That's what people don't realize. Fucking, he already lost the fight. Costa, that is. Costa already lost the fight by fucking trying to make jabs at Izzy's physique.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's been in his head for fucking months already.
Oh, man. But you know what was weird? And I know people saw this when they fucking met on Fight. Was it Fight Island? Didn't they meet when they got to Yas, or was it? It was before.
No, it was before that. It was when it was. Fuck. Where did Robert Whitaker and Izzy fight? I'm pretty sure it was somewhere in New Zealand, right?
Oh, was it?
Australia? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was in Australia or in New Zealand. One of the two. Let me look it up real quick.
It was Australia. If it was where Izzy Izzy fought fucking Whitaker at, right? The Marvel Stadium.
Where the fuck did they fight?
Marvel Stadium, right?
I think. No, I clicked on Robert Whitaker. What the fuck? I want to click on this. All right. They fought in Melbourne, Australia, at Marvel Stadium. Yes. Damn, I didn't even know Marvel had a stadium. No wonder why Izzy was like, Marvel, let's get a deal. That makes sense now.
Absolutely. I think they use that stadium obviously for soccer games.
Yeah, it looks like a sick ass stadium from the poster that I'm looking at.
Bro, if Marvel's putting their name on a stadium, can you imagine the type of money and expenses they have to make that thing look like the best fucking stadium you'll ever walk in? And you're fighting in a state. See, this is what people don't get is like when you fight overseas, like when you fight in England, when you fight in Australia, I mean, we're talking English speaking countries overseas. They're fighting in stadiums. They're filling out 80,000 plus seat stadiums.
Mm-hmm.
Like people don't realize, it's because Vegas, how big is a Raider Stadium?
65,000 seats, I think.
Dude, I can't wait till they get a fight, whether it's boxing or MMA or UFC, um, to fill up that stadium for a fight.
Yeah, it's gonna be nasty.
Bro, American fans that like to go to shows don't realize how intense that'd be. Because it's one thing to watch an NFL game live when a 60 plus thousand person stadium is filled up. I mean, it's different. Like it's a different vibe. It's a it's like the game's longer. You got the halftime show, but we all know fighting the atmosphere is more explosive.
Mm-hmm.
So can you imagine that amount of people? And then not only that, they're going to fill up the field with more seats. So I mean, essentially, you're looking at 80,000 seats, if or 80,000 attendance, if you let's say have it at Raiders Stadium for a fight, dude. By the way, how crazy is that? Vegas officially has had their first home NFL game,
And they won that shit. It's fucking
and
cool,
they
dude.
won, and they fucking won.
Yeah, it was fucking
It was meant to be. It was meant to be.
crazy, right?
So what's the deal, man? Is me? Obviously, I don't live in Vegas anymore, but I still obviously have ties out there. Obviously, you being one of my friends out there, and I got a few other peeps out there. But as a true Las Vegan, how does it feel having the rate not only a football team but the Raiders, man? The culture,
Man,
it's culture.
the
You
cult
know this.
the culture is weird, bro. Like even being down there at the stadium yesterday, for
Yeah.
the Thunderbird flyover,
Yeah.
people were fucking fighting, bro.
No way.
People were fucking
Fighting.
fighting, dude. And it's
Fighting.
like, come on, man.
What are
It's
you? Are you
like
talking about like in the
they're
stadium, like in the crowd?
no, they're scrapping over parking spots, bro. Like
That's
the
crazy.
fuck.
Outside the stadium, obviously, right?
Yeah,
That's
it's outside the stadium. Nobody was allowed inside, but we were all there to watch the fucking
yeah,
Thunderbirds fly over.
yeah.
So we were all trying to park in the parking lots surrounding the stadium, and people fucking got in a fight over a fucking parking spot.
Man. Oh man, because listen, the culture out here in Northern California, obviously, the culture's big out here, dude. I'll be out driving to Sacramento and all the farmlands, all the warehouses, all the processing places. They all got Raiders signs up and shit. So I mean, it's a heavy culture to deal with. But I always was wondering, like, man, I wonder how it's going to be coming into a city like Vegas because Vegas, you know, living there and going to school there, I know how Vegas people are, and Vegas people are sick and tired of like Californians coming in, like the whole transient situation. Like everyone that's gone to school in Vegas, like our generation, right, the mid 20s to early 30s,
Mm-hmm.
the ones who went to school out there, were raised out there, born out there. I mean, it's a whole different vibe. The Las Vegas generation, millennial generation is what the city is now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
so we all know what the vibe is. We all know what the culture is. Like everyone, everyone fucking knew how it was when the original Wet and Wild was out there. Everyone knew, oh, what middle school did you go to? Oh, Fertitta. Oh, where'd you go? Lawrence. Or what high school did you go to? Sierra Vista. Oh, Durango. Palo Verde. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah,
those.
everybody knows everybody. Or it's like it's a small ass city. Even though it's kind of big, it's really not that big.
No, it's not. But you bring in a culture like that at this time when the real kids of Vegas are now adults, now buying houses, now having careers, now establishing having kids of their own, like the 25 to fucking early 30s generation, man. It's a weird situation because we already, that generation already has their own culture. So you bring in the Raiders culture to a city like Vegas, it can be crazy, man. I hope Vegas accepts that team. I'm sure they do. Fucking on a like, okay, this is what I mean by that. You think Las Vegas, the true Las Vegas, Las vegans, um, will accept the team and embrace it just like how you guys do the Golden Knights?
Oh, absolutely. I feel like people already have.
Yeah.
We just don't want the rowdy side of things. Like, you know how
Mhm.
Vegas is. Like, honestly, like
Vegas is pretty rowdy.
we're just chill, man. The
That's
major
true.
the majority of us, we're all pretty chill. Like, we're not trying to fight over parking spots or
Yeah,
fucking
that's true.
like get
That's a
all
good point.
ratchet and shit.
Hey, listen. I know
I mean,
some people out
that
on
the
the east
east
side.
side, the east
There you
side.
go.
Take that shit to
Shout
the
out
east
to
side. They should have built the Raiders Stadium on the east side, bro. Like that would have been perfect.
man. Can you imagine? Can you
I would
imagine?
not go to the guy. Fuck
Damn.
that, bro.
Oh,
They would have SWAT inspecting that shit.
I would never listen as a former Las Vegas resident. Let's put aside that I lived on the west side. Who gives a fuck about that? I don't care
Yeah,
if I
so did I.
yeah, like I don't care if I lived in central Vegas, near the strip, and I have, but
Mhm.
I never ever venture to the fucking east side. And I'm not saying, like I said, I know some peeps out there in the east side, but you do not want to go to east side Vegas.
No, you don't.
Advice to all you people vacationing to Vegas. And I've seen tourists make this mistake because they're trying to save money and be cheap and try and find fucking places to stay at. If it says Boulder Highway, do
Don't.
not do not sign up for anything that has Boulder Highway in the description.
Anything to the right of 15 is what I tell people.
If facing north, anything
Hmm
15, anything like don't just don't. Like if you're a tourist, that is. If you're a
Right.
resident and you got business to handle, whatever. Dude, I had like even because I was messing around out training out in Henderson at times too, and if it got too far, like southeast, like past Stephanie,
Yeah.
let's reel that back in.
Reel that shit back in.
I don't
Yeah.
wanna go that far. You know what I
Right.
mean? Oh man, fuck. That's and for all you people listening in. That's real Vegas shit right there. You know
That's
what I'm
funny,
saying?
bro.
But
That's fucking
I
hilarious.
all my Vegas shit, man. You best believe. Just because I'm a
But
Californian doesn't mean I lost that in me. You feel me?
right. Fucking back to the fucking Raiders shit though.
Yeah.
Honestly, I like the Raiders, dude, just because they are here. Like it's surreal to be like,
It's
damn, I was
surreal.
watching on TV yesterday. Like they're playing on the fucking strip right now, dude. Like that's
It's
fucking cool.
it's insane. That's why I was just like, man, I can't believe Vegas had their first fucking home game in the NFL. Like that's massive, bro.
Yeah, it was huge. I mean, I would have loved to be there. Would have loved to have actually seen the game in person, but it's all good.
So
Maybe next year.
yeah, I didn't watch the telecast, but have they let crowds come into the NFL games, or is it like bubbled out, or what's the deal with that?
It's up to the states, dude. Texas and a couple, Kansas City and a couple other places. They have had fans. They've had up to like 20,000 people in that
Oh
stadium,
shit!
bro. Yeah,
Holy shit! So they're still packing them in.
yeah, they're packing them in the fucking red states, bro.
Yeah, that makes sense. So that's not even shocking to me at that point.
Fucking yeah, dude. I watched the fucking Cowboys game the
Yeah,
other day, and I hear
yeah.
cheers, and I'm like, what the fuck? And they show fans, and I was like, that's like 20,000 people in there. And they're like, yeah, there's a crowd of 20,000 people in this state. And I'm like, what
Cowboy
the
fans,
fuck?
Cowboy fans, man. Come
Yeah,
on now.
but they're fucking charging the coaches 100K for not wearing masks.
Oh yeah. That's an example thing, dude. They
Hmm
want him to set a good example. Oh, that's crazy. Holy shit, $100,000 fines per game. That's
It's fucking
what the
wild.
fuck is the point of the NFL? Why are you finding these? They don't need the money. They don't fucking need the money.
No, they don't. But they want it back.
Yeah, they do want it back. Yeah, that's what corporation does it. Come on
True
now.
facts, bro.
So shit. So what? Where does Vegas's next game? Is this their second game of the season, or was that their first?
It was the second game, but the first home game.
Okay, the first home game. Yeah. So who do they face next?
Patriots. They go to
Uh,
New England now.
shit.
Yeah.
I've been hearing a
They're
lot about fucking Cam.
Superman Cam.
Yeah. Trying to quote unquote trying to build a new dynasty. They say.
Yeah, even though we got fucking stuffed on the end zone in fucking Seattle, dick.
So what? Are the Patriots out on 1-1 right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Brady's not doing too good.
He's 1-1 too. He sucks
Yeah,
ass out there in Tampa.
not doing too good. But he's out in Florida, man. He's enjoying that weather.
Oh hell yeah. Yeah. It's
Enjoying
better
that.
than the New England weather.
You know what I mean? Well, fuck, that's cool, man. I'm looking forward to hearing more. Listen, the Raiders can go in this season and imagine their first Vegas season, fucking, and even just make it to the playoffs. That's big.
That would be so sick, dude. If they make
Oh
it to the
man,
playoffs the first year, that'd be dope.
yeah. I can't wait to see fights at that stadium. I know I got to say it again, but I can't wait to see the big money fights. I mean, I think the biggest chance to have a fight aside from the UFC, making a massive card like a Jones fucking fight card, to be at that stadium. I think the only other reasonable fight that could have made uh, any dent into that fucking stadium would have been Canelo Alvarez.
That would be sick.
Oh man, he could have brought a big one, but he'd have to fight a big name. And I'd get into it about boxing right now, but the only thing I'm gonna talk about right now before we get off here is the card this weekend, and we chatted up a little bit about that before this, but the Charlo brothers. So if people watching in here haven't discovered who they are, as any fight fan, MMA or boxing, watch these guys. So Jermell and Jamal Charlo, twin brothers, at 154 and 160 pounds, both world champions, WBC champions, first brothers in history to be simultaneously world champions in the same division at 154. And then Jamal moved up to 160, but they both have the WBC world title in their respective weight classes. Obviously, I'm excited about it because those are both my weight classes, at 154 and 160. So expect fireworks. Jermel is this just in, and if people want to find out, listen in on this. He will be the first Ring Magazine, or whoever wins between Jermel Charlo and Jason Rosario. This is a title unification bout, the WBC title from Jermel and the IBF, the WBA and IBF world titles from Rosario. It's a three world title unification, but whoever wins that unification bout will be the first ever I believe, for the Ring Magazine undisputed lineal champion. So I know that we've talked about world titles in boxing, and it's like it's a headache to talk about it. And if people need a little lesson about it, so boxing has four main governing bodies: WBC, WBA, WBO, and IBF. Each of them have a world title for each weight class. So you think about it, four world titles per weight class. But there's only been a handful of Ring Magazine champions, and Ring Magazine, obviously being the publication for boxing, but they always give this belt to who they feel is the considered undisputed champion of every weight class. And you've probably seen it. It's the red, white, and blue belt with like the gold eagle in the front.
Yeah.
You've seen it in like the Rocky movies. You've seen it in fucking everything. And they've only given a handful of them per weight class. Heavyweight. I believe there was one at middleweight. There was a couple others at the lower weight classes, but I believe this would be the first ever Ring Magazine 154-pound title. So this would be a pretty historic day for any 154-pounder. I'm excited because that's my weight class. So people tuning in, that's what you're looking forward to. You're looking forward to the first ever Ring Magazine 154-pound world title to be crowned. And we'll just have to see. I have my money on Jermell Charlo finishing this fight within 8 rounds against Jason Rosario. And I know you don't know too much about Jermell Charlo or Rosario, but all I got to say is these are both guys that are at 6 feet tall at 154 pounds. So these are big boys. And
yeah.
You're going to see some knockouts. Jermell isn't a knockout artist like his big brother Jermall. He's 32-0. I think it's 32-0 or 33-0 with either 15 or 16 knockouts. So, I mean, 50% KO ratio. But he's faced a who's who in that division. And I mean, dude, if you're over 30, you're a fucking killer. So, yeah, so look forward to that. That's what I'm excited to see. So the next time you guys hear from us, we'll be talking about that one. I got my money on Jermell.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna tune into that after the Izzy card, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, and that's the one, people. Izzy in 4. I got Izzy in 4.
I got Izzy in 4 too.
Okay, there you go. There you have it, people.
Yep. And then I got Reyes by decision. I don't think he's gonna knock out Blachowicz.
Reyes by decision. Yep, I agree. Reyes by decision. He'll all I have to say is he'll outwork him.
Yeah, I think he will. I mean, the man I argued that John Jones won that fight, but Dominic Reyes probably should have won that shit. So if he can come close, he can beat Jan Blachowicz, no problem.
Like you said, so people don't fucking start talking shit. He's not going to fight the same way as he did against Jones. Jones is a complete different fighter than Young, right? So we know that. But like you said, coming in with that mentality, and we'll see a newly crowned, I guess in a lot of people's eyes, the one who should have been crowned light heavyweight. The title that he should have won, I guess you can say, right?
Yes, sir.
The John Jones Championship.
The John Jones Championship. Episode 25. We're out.
We're out.